Hi and welcome back to the Ruby Tuesday. My name's Ruben and this is my review for episode 4, season 3 of The Wheel of Time. Going to be talking about a few key moments and also kind of the feeling and what to expect, whether it was a good episode. So let's jump in. So episode 4, The Road to the Spear, is mostly centered on Rand and Moraine. Mostly. And a couple of other characters in the desert. This episode very much could be called a history lesson. You kind of get to see thousands turning of the wheel. It's even a line of dialogue in the series in this episode. And what we get to see is how the creators and the set directors then get to play with certain circumstances. For example, in a multiverse theory, if you see various alterations of Doctor Doom or Iron Man in alternate versions like we've seen in their animated series on Disney with, What If series. This is kind of that, but without main characters getting tested. Because of that, we get to see many variations of love interests, deaths, sets with lavish costumes, moments that are sometimes just 2 or 3 seconds as the wheel turns and flips and gives us something else to see. It's a very interesting way to do, I guess, a huge dump of exposition of the story to help the viewers catch up to what has happened and help them understand of all the history that has come before that relates to something that is coming in the future, the big war, the final battle. And so we see our characters fight in a way without fighting. It's like a battle of wills against the one power. And the sets for this are monumental in size, massive in certain circumstances, but all foggy and mysterious. And if you've read the books, you'll know exactly where this is. Here's a little bit of, I guess, a drawback for those that haven't read the book. This episode in particular has a number of words that are fantastical words that are specific to sayings or places or people's names that just kind of fly by, and it's fantastical speak. If you haven't been paying attention, or it's something that you've just been watching within the background, these words now can be very confusing. I would say there are a number of keys, if you care at all, online that you'll find basically helping you explain when they're mentioning a certain person or a certain place, what the history of that means. It does take for granted, this episode in particular, that we know what they're talking about, these places, this name, which is why I like the history part of it. Once we get to a certain place, they start explaining it, but you don't really understand what it is they're explaining. Once we start to get to see the story, the dumping of exposition that we see visually told, it's beautifully done. Not a lot happens within the main arc of our story to move the plot forward, but it's a very important integral part to this season, giving a kind of grounding and backstory that was much needed. I like it. I think some people are going to wish there was more action. You do get action if you're just in it for the fantasy, romantasy action. You do get all of that. You do get the drama. You do get some political schemings back in the tower. That's always going to be a part of every episode as they jump to and fro. But mostly we're focused on Rand in the desert, learning to sword fight. I feel like people will struggle a bit though with some of the words, some of the sayings, and going, wait, where are we? What is happening? Totally understand that, but you might just be in for the ride. So let me know what you thought about episode 4 once you've seen it. Do you like these sort of breakdowns, recaps, best moments of the episodes just a couple of days before? I'm doing my best not to do any spoilers, which is why I'm dancing around some of the key facts and the fact that Prime Video or Amazon have asked me not to mention anything because obviously everybody wants to enjoy them without being spoiled. So this is your place in the comments below to talk about what you expect is coming, and once you've seen it, talk about your favorite moments, but do give people a heads up with the spoiler word. Thanks so much for watching, but most of all, until next time, remember, live long on Tuesday.